moving your body against resistance and overall training as an identity. Looks are just a side effect. The gym. This is where you build momentum. But what happens when you can't make it? What happens if you can't make it? What happens to that momentum? You lose it. Now you have to start again. If this tends to happen to you and halt your progress, or maybe you never even started because your life doesn't allow it, stick around for a moment because I'm going to show you the simplest training systems to fix this. There's a lot of X's. I've been in both situations. Either I couldn't make it or my schedule just didn't allow it. There was a period in my life where, to be honest, I just couldn't afford it. But that's when I realized that I can still do something to keep that momentum going. Most people understand that training involves consistency over time because the body needs to adapt to the force that is being applied to it. Training the body comes down to one simple idea. Move the body against resistance. Create struggle. Adapt, increase level, adapt again. Most people associate training only with building muscles. And that's true, but it's more than that. Today we understand the science of building muscles very well. And the gym is the optimal place for doing that. But it's not always the optimal place to maintain momentum. So what if you could have both? When disruptions happen and your momentum is at risk, you don't stop. You adapt the formula. Instead of heavy resistance with low volume, you go with light resistance and higher volume. And that solves two problems at once. You keep your momentum and you can still build muscles. This idea is very similar to a concept called greasing the groove. This was introduced by Pavel Tsatsouline. It's based on high-frequency training throughout the day. For example, you set 100 push-ups in a day and you spread them across multiple sets without going to exhaustion. Now, here's why this is so powerful. Let's start with momentum. When you miss workouts, especially intense ones, you don't just lose time. You lose rhythm, you lose strength, and you increase the risk of injury if you jump back in too aggressively. But if you replace those sessions with high-frequency training, you maintain the neural pathways responsible for strength. So what happens? You stay active, you stay consistent. You keep everything warm until you're back in. And instead of starting from zero, you pick up almost where you left off. Now, the second important question is, can you actually build muscles? Yes, to a certain extent. You see, muscle growth works on a spectrum. On one end, you have heavier resistance, lower reps, faster path to fatigue. That's why the gym is so efficient. But that's not the only way. If you increase your volume and push your sets to fatigue, you can still stimulate muscle growth. Maybe not at maximum efficiency, but enough to build strength and improve your physique. And most importantly, you stay consistent. And for someone who would otherwise do nothing, that is a massive game changer. I personally use this system in two ways. This is my base. I set a daily target for 3 exercises that cover the entire body. Always think legs, core, upper body, in that order, because everything starts from the ground up. My personal structure is 50% legs, 30% core, 20% upper body. Now, some people might disagree with that, especially people that spend their entire life doing just upper body, chest and biceps, chest and triceps, and stuff like that. The problem is the upper body is just the functional end of the body. Everything gets controlled from the legs through your core, and finally is the upper body. The upper body needs to be loose and needs to be functional. If you're building strength the other way around, well, you could probably do that and start walking on your arms. So basically just change everything. But that's a different story, maybe another video. So here's how I set a daily target for momentum training. 300 squats, 150 sit-ups, 100 push-ups. It doesn't matter how I split them. All that matters is, by the end of the day, the target is done. This is my non-zero system. It keeps me active, keeps the momentum alive. Now, when I want more than just maintenance, and the gym is just not an option for that day, I adjust one thing. Instead of spreading everything across the day, I group the volume in fewer sets and push everything closer to fatigue. Same exercises, different intention. And trust me, 50 bodyweight squats done properly will humble you just as much as a heavyweight one. This is why I use this system, because training shouldn't be just a temporary goal. It should be an identity. Staying active, being capable, being fit, that's something I personally plan to maintain long term. And I'm pretty sure you would agree with that. That's why I don't allow external circumstances to break that. And you shouldn't either. Whether you're trying to build momentum, keep momentum, or start from zero, this is one of the most effective ways to do it. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, hype, subscribe if you haven't done that already. It really helps the channel grow. It helps me make more content. Also, if you got any comments, any questions, any curiosities, don't hesitate to drop them into that comment section. I'll be happy to respond to them or even turn them into a video. Until then, take care. I'll see you in the next one.